G'day and welcome to the Aloha737 project. First video. Thought I'd do a quick one just to introduce myself and tell you what I'm up to on this YouTube channel. So, in the process of building a 737 simulator, and it's going to go in there. We're in the garage. This is basically my test bed right now, just to test the ProSim 737 software. That's the flight sim computer. It'll be running prepared. And that's the avionics computer. It'll be running the 5 screens. That'll just be like the desktop screen and the captain and engine and co-pilot. So it's an 18.5 inch as well and 15 inch. So I'm just testing ProSim and testing the networking of the computers right now, and it seems to be working. So just a quick introduction. I'm a real world pilot. I've had I've been flying for a number of years now, and I've basically followed the flight simulation ever since it got off the ground many years ago. So I thought I'd take on the challenge of building a 737 sim. It's called the Aloha737 project. Aloha, my mum's American and she lives in Hawaii. So I've spent a bit of time there and have a connection with Aloha Airlines. Not job-wise, but just I was quite fond of them when they were around, and of course they're out of business now, unfortunately. But I thought I'd name my project the Aloha737 project. So that's me. So I've only really just started in the last month, researching, figuring out what hardware I'm going to buy. We're in the garage right now. It's a bit of a mess because I've been cleaning it out and making room for the 737, which is probably going to go in that corner there. So basically I've ordered up the Flight Deck Solutions MIP bundle and the Flight Deck Solutions aft and forward overhead and various other components which I'll talk about as they come in. I'm in New Zealand, so it's really expensive. By the time you purchase all the hardware, from Canada, the States, Europe, exchange rate, duty when it lands in the country, it's an expensive hobby, but we all know that, and that's something that I'll have to factor in. So it's not going to be a quick and easy project. It's going to take some time. I imagine years actually. So I'm basically just going to start with the MIP. Well, first of all I'll build the base, and then I'll install the MIP, and then figure out what I'm going to do for a shell. Once the MIP's here, I'll probably use this bench to work on the overhead. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. It's a big challenge, a big endeavour. My advice that was given to me, and it makes a lot of common sense, and I don't want to tell anyone how to suck eggs or tell them what they should do or anything like that, but there's 2 key points for me with this project. It's relationships and it's finances. So I wanted to make sure before I started this project that my wife was on board. She wasn't as excited as I was, but I wanted to make sure that she's on board with it and okay with me to start it. So tick that box, and of course the finance part, it's very expensive, so you've got to make sure you can afford this sort of thing, or spread it out over time, or even do a lot of the DIY stuff yourself. So yep, tick that box, and I'm looking forward to the challenge, and there's a lot to learn. There's a lot of good information online, a lot of excellent builders. Probably the guy that got me started in all this was probably the Norwegian 737 project guy in Norway. He is well, his workmanship is amazing. I'd be happy if I got to his caliber, but I don't know if I will. But yeah, so he's got some awesome information, and there's a whole bunch of other people out in the web that have good information for building a 737. I did actually want to go with the A320, ProSim A320 build, but I figured the A320's, the cockpit's a little bit bigger and I'm limited in space. And I already had the ProSim 737 software. I bought it back when it was about $300, so you know, I think it's around €1,500 right now for the A320. And the 7.3, you know, there's a lot of companies out there that build hardware for the 7.3, so it was pretty much an easy choice for me to go with the 7.3. So hope you enjoy the YouTube channel. It's a big learning curve for me, so I'll give you my advice and what I've learnt. Just bear in mind that it might be wrong, or there might be a better way of doing it. So if you hear me give you some wrong advice, or you know of a better way, please leave a comment. I'm open-minded and won't get offended. Alright, hope you enjoy the channel. See you again. Bye.